The moment a world leader threatens invasion over religious violence and invites you to watch what happens next. This is the escalating drama between Donald Trump and Bola Tinubu about alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria, and it could redefine diplomacy, sovereignty, and global faith politics. The breakdown, what transpired. According to statements from the Nigerian presidency, President Tinubu and President Trump are expected to meet soon to address the serious allegations of mass killings of Christians in Nigeria. The meeting is being framed as an urgent bilateral dialogue, possibly taking place at Nigeria's State House in Abuja or at the White House in Washington. This diplomatic flashpoint follows Trump's earlier public remarks. He described Nigeria as a disgraced country for allowing the killing of Christians, said the U.S. may halt all aid, and warned of possible military action if the violence does not stop. Why this matters: high-stakes diplomacy and domestic pressure. A. Sovereignty under pressure. Nigeria's government insists it protects the rights of all faiths and rejects the characterization of religious persecution. Tinubu's team says the allegations don't reflect national reality. When a foreign leader insists on intervention tied to faith-based violence, the very idea of national autonomy comes into question. B. Political optics and regional weight. As Africa's most populous nation, Nigeria carries significant regional weight. A label like Christian genocide country has deep implications for its international standing and internal cohesion. See faith, identity, and security collide. Whether the violence is purely religious, ethnic, or economic, framing it as Christian genocide changes both the narrative and potential response. There's a risk of polarization. The core issues: what's being contested? Allegations of genocide against Christians. While many incidents of violence target Christians, analysts argue many victims across Nigeria are of mixed faiths or targeting is multidimensional. U.S. pressure and possible intervention. Trump's statements suggest the U.S. might stop aid or even mount military action if conditions don't change. Nigeria's security and humanitarian reality. Nigeria faces insurgency from groups like Boko Haram and herder-farmer conflicts. Distinguishing religious-only violence from broader conflict is complex. What the upcoming meeting will likely focus on: definitions and data. The leaders will explore whether the violence constitutes persecution of Christians only, or if it is wider and affects other groups. Security cooperation. The U.S. has previously sold military equipment to Nigeria, and this talk may revisit that relationship. Aid conditions and future ties. Nigeria may face stricter U.S. conditionality around religious freedom, human rights, and security reform. Narrative management and international image. Nigeria will attempt to defend its image. The U.S. will press for accountability on violence. Risks, challenges, and possible fallout. Diplomatic strain. If the meeting fails or public pressure intensifies, Nigeria-U.S. relations could cool, affecting trade, security, and aid. Internal backlash. Labeling the violence as Christian genocide may fan religious tensions inside Nigeria, complicating reconciliation. Oversimplification of violence. If systemic issues like economic marginalization or land disputes are ignored in favor of religious framing, policy responses may miss the mark. Intervention precedent. The suggestion of military action by the U.S., however conditional, alters the standards of international response to internal violence. How this fits into broader trends. Global discourse on religious freedom. The U.S. increasingly frames foreign policy through religious freedom lenses. Nigeria is now at the front line of that shift. Africa's relationship with traditional powers. As Nigeria balances its Pan-African role, this incident shows how external powers still influence domestic affairs. Media and narrative wars. The story is as much about whose version of the truth dominates, victim counts, faith targets, as it is about actual security. security governance in Nigeria. Whether this leads to real reform or becomes symbolic is critical for Nigeria's long-term stability. What to watch in the coming days? Date and venue of the meeting between Tinubu and Trump. Will it be in Washington or Abuja? These details can signal balance. Official communique after the meeting. Will it include data, joint statements, timelines? Aid or military policy changes from the U.S.? Will aid be cut? Will Nigeria be designated a country of particular concern? Domestic response in Nigeria. Will civil society, religious leaders, and political opposition engage or critique the meeting? Media coverage of casualties and context. Are Christian-only figures presented, or is a broader conflict narrative restored? Final reflections. This planned meeting between President Tinubu and President Trump over allegations of Christian genocide in Nigeria represents one of the most serious diplomatic and faith-based crises Nigeria has faced. It's not just about violence or security. It touches on identity, international trust, sovereignty, faith, and justice. For Nigeria, the question is not only how to respond, but how to be seen responding. For the U.S., the question is how far to go in influencing another nation's internal affairs. What happens next could reshape Nigeria's global relationships, internal peace dynamics, and the global map of faith-based foreign policy.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay informed with fast, reliable news, don't forget to subscribe to Newsflash 360. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Your next headline is just seconds away.